Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and officials of the Foreign Service, members of Parliament, Chief Executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, our distinguished veteran public servant, Mr. E.M. Deborah, experts, resource persons, and eminent personalities. And I see here the renowned Pan-Africanist and poet, my good friend Akufo-Addo. The Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. Let me at the outset commend the dynamic and hardworking Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, the Honorable Shirley Ayoko Buche, the Member of Parliament for Anya Soutu, for this initiative aimed at positioning the ministry as a strategic partner and player in the pursuit of our vision of a Ghana beyond aid. Several examples abound around the world of how advanced economies have leveraged effectively the tools of foreign policy to secure the well-being of their peoples. This has been done with the aim of increasing trade, foreign direct investments, tourism, technical cooperation, education, health, agriculture, and the transfer of technology. The Economic Trade and Investment Bureau Active of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is indeed a welcome and timely addition to help facilitate further investments, domestic and foreign, into Ghana. 60 years after independence, we recognize that we can no longer continue to depend on the production and export of raw materials for our sustenance. We cannot create the necessary numbers of high-paying jobs that will enhance the living standards of the mass of our people unless we industrialize with the goal of adding significant value to our primary products. Raw material producing economies do not create prosperity for their people. It is our dependence on raw material exports that feeds our dependence on foreign aid. The key ingredients for the structural transformation of our economy include the development of the requisite infrastructure, a strong human resource base, a heightened entrepreneurial capacity, stable and affordable power, innovative financing schemes, including the diasporan bonds, enhanced agro-business, and a constant application of science and technology, amongst others. It is for this reason that I welcome the initiative being undertaken by the Foreign Ministry to work closely with other stakeholders to achieve this goal. Our nation's foreign policy and interventions on the domestic front must be understood as being two sides of the same coin. It has been demonstrated over time that a country is best placed to achieve its foreign policy objectives when they complement its domestic policies. I consider the Foreign Ministry's effort to redefine its role in terms of the quest for the social and economic transformation of our country as a very positive step that deserves our full support and cooperation. By inaugurating formally active, the ministry has signaled to other ministries, departments, and agencies, and the private sector that it is committed to deepening its involvement in the development of our country. It is my expectation, therefore, that we will work together to build on the foundation that has been laid today through regular and meaningful interaction between all the ministries concerned, as well as the private sector. Madam Minister, ladies and gentlemen, over the last 7 months, we can all attest to the modest but concrete progress that has been made to bring stability to our macroeconomic indices. For the first half of the year, our GDP grew by 6.6% against 4.4% in the same period for 2016. Inflation, as of June 2017, dropped to 12.1% from 15.4% in December 2016. The exchange rate is stabilizing, and inflationary pressures have eased as interest rates trend downwards. Based on the progress that has been made in macroeconomic stability and improvement in real GDP growth, the reputable Fitch rating agency recently revised its outlook on Ghana's long-term foreign and currency issues on default rating, IDR, from negative to stable, and affirmed the country's IDR at B. This positive performance has been achieved in such a short period of time by dint of hard work, creative economic policies, improved fiscal discipline, and competent management of the economy, all of which will progressively restore investor confidence in the Ghanaian economy and translate into the creation of lots of jobs for our young people. Programs and policy initiatives, such as One District, One Factory, Planting for Food and Jobs, One Region, One Industrial Park, and more robust fiscal system in the 2017 Asempa budget statement are major trade and industrial interventions by government that are expected to boost investor confidence. The institution of the new tariff regime in the Asempa budget is to encourage diversification in our export sector, taking into consideration our comparative advantage in agribusiness. 2 weeks ago, the Ministry of Trade and Industry launched a bold and ambitious initiative to transform the industrial sector of our country, with Ghana's 10-point agenda to promote entrepreneurs, especially amongst the youth, and thereby make Ghana an important industrial hub in West Africa and in Africa as a whole. We are optimistic that these initiatives will be sustained to instill more confidence in the economy for both domestic and international investors. Trade facilitation has increasingly become a valuable tool in integrating economies into global value chains, creating wealth and employment in many countries. We therefore need to improve customs function to support targeted trade facilitation and promote intra-regional trade through the implementation of ECOWAS protocols and continental trade policies. To this end, government has put in place measures as from tomorrow, 1st September, to start the single window project. It would entail a paperless clearing process that should provide a platform for an integrated clearing process to minimize the human factor as much as possible and reduce processing time for trade documents. Importers should now spend a maximum of 4 hours in clearing their goods from the nation's ports. Chairperson, Madam Minister, ladies and gentlemen, tourism has made a substantial contribution to our balance of payments, employment, national income, and production. Its potential as a major source of foreign exchange is considerable and must be tapped. One of our most important goals is to optimize the socio-economic growth of the country through tourism-related activities. The construction of the new terminal at the Kotoka International Airport is intended to strengthen the tourist infrastructure to permit an increase in the volume of foreign tourists. I'm proud of the sense of purpose and enterprise which key stakeholders in the trade, investment, and tourism sectors are exhibiting in order to come closer together to open new possibilities for greater cooperation. This stakeholders conference should be held regularly to provide you with a platform to assess progress made and to develop new strategies, ones that will focus on achieving the target of making Ghana the preferred investment destination in Africa with the most business-friendly economy. Our goal must remain constant: a Ghana beyond aid. That is, a Ghana standing on its own feet, exploiting its own resources according to its own program. A Ghana freed from a mindset of aid, dependence, charity, and handouts. That is the best way we can fulfill the dreams and aspirations of the founding fathers of our nation, whose toil and sacrifice have brought us our beloved free Ghana. Madam Minister, ladies and gentlemen, as some of you may know, a decade ago, I spent some 5 memorable years as Foreign Minister in the government of that outstanding Ghanaian statesman, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, former President of the Republic. It is thus with special nostalgia that I attend to matters involving the Foreign Ministry. Hopefully, the ministry will benefit from having a former minister installed in the presidency of our nation. It should. It is accordingly with great pleasure that I declare the Economic Trade and Investment Bureau of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration duly constituted. Thank you all, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great.